It was late in the evening when the last bus arrived at the stop. The sky was dark blue, almost black. The streetlights were on, glowing softly. The city felt tired and quiet. A young man named Daniel stood alone at the bus stop. His hands were in his pockets. His shoulders were slightly bent. He looked like someone who had carried a long day on his back. Daniel worked in a small office across the city. Every day he stayed late. Not because he wanted to, but because life demanded it. This night was no different. He had missed the earlier buses. Now, this was the last one. If he missed it, he would have to walk a long way home. The bus doors opened with a tired sound. Daniel stepped inside and sat near the window. The bus was almost empty. Only a few passengers were there. The driver looked at the mirror and nodded. Then the bus started moving. Outside, the city passed slowly. Shops were closed. Windows were dark. The day was ending for everyone. At the next stop, an old woman got on the bus. She moved slowly. Her steps were careful. She held a small bag close to her chest. The driver waited patiently. The woman smiled and thanked him. Then she looked around for a seat. The bus was quiet. Daniel noticed her searching with her eyes. Without thinking, he stood up. "You can sit here," he said softly. The woman looked surprised. Then she smiled. "Thank you, dear," she said. She sat down slowly. Daniel moved to another seat nearby. The bus continued its journey. The sound of the engine filled the silence. Daniel looked out the window again. His reflection stared back at him. He looked tired, older than his years. He thought about his life, about the dreams he once had, about how far they now felt. The old woman noticed him looking lost. She cleared her throat gently. "Long day?" she asked. Daniel turned toward her. "Yes," he replied. "Very long." She nodded as if she understood. "These days," she said, "are heavy for many people." Daniel gave a small smile. He did not answer. Sometimes words feel too small. The bus stopped again. More people got off. Soon, only Daniel and the old woman remained. The city outside looked different now. Quieter. Softer. Almost peaceful. The woman looked at her hands. They were thin and wrinkled. She spoke again. "I used to take this bus every night," she said. "For many years." Daniel listened. "My husband worked late," she continued. "I waited for him. We came home together." She paused. The bus moved through another empty street. "He passed away 3 years ago," she said quietly. Daniel felt something move inside his chest. "I'm sorry," he said. She nodded. "Thank you," she replied. "But life goes on. The bus still comes. The night still ends." Daniel thought about that. The bus still comes. The night still ends. "I don't like being alone at night," she said. "But this bus makes me feel safe. Like I'm not forgotten." Daniel looked around the empty bus. He had never thought of it that way. "I feel the same," he said slowly. "Sometimes I think I'm walking alone, even when people are around." The woman smiled at him. "That means you have a kind heart," she said. "Kind hearts feel deeply." The bus slowed down. The driver announced the next stop. "This is my stop," the woman said. She stood up carefully. Daniel stood too. "Thank you for the seat," she said. "And for listening." "Thank you," Daniel replied. "For talking to me." She smiled one last time. Then she stepped off the bus. The doors closed. The bus moved again. Daniel watched her walk slowly down the quiet street. Then she disappeared into the darkness. The bus felt emptier now. But Daniel felt something different. Lighter. The driver looked at him through the mirror. "Last stop is yours," he said. Daniel nodded. As the bus moved forward, Daniel leaned back in his seat. He breathed deeply. He thought about the woman's words. The night still ends. When the bus stopped, Daniel stepped outside. The air was cool and fresh. The street was quiet. He walked toward his home. Each step felt easier. The road was the same. The buildings were the same. But something inside him had changed. He realized something simple. He was not alone. Not really. People pass through our lives like buses. Some stay longer. Some leave quickly. But each one leaves something behind. Daniel reached his door. He looked up at the sky. A few stars were visible. Tomorrow, he whispered. I will keep going. He opened the door and went inside. The night continued. But the road home no longer felt empty.